Today, on the Everett Ellison Show, man, there's nothing new under the sun. We're going to talk about how the Democratic Party is using the whole concept of the Trojan Horse to use immigration to replace Americans today on the Everett Ellison Show. Let's get this thing started. You know, it was this great movie I saw called Troy. It was very, very good. I'd read the Iliad when I was a boy, Home of the Iliad, and I kind of knew about it. Helen of Troy, and the Trojan Horse and the Trojan War. It's a cautionary tale. Hubris, stupidity, pride, and how to get you killed. The Trojan War was a 10-year conflict between the 7th and 13th century BC, before Christ. It means about maybe 3,000 years ago. They couldn't get around the city. They couldn't break through the walls. They couldn't get in, so they got smart. And they offered the Trojans a gift. And this gift was a Trojan horse. Greeks didn't know, well, the Trojans didn't know that the Greeks had put soldiers inside of the horse. And because of their pride, the Trojans pulled the horse into their city. Didn't check inside of it, didn't see whether there was anything in it or nothing. Their pride, they thought that the Greeks had left and they'd won, and that the Greeks had given them this sacrifice because they were so superior. At night, after everybody had drunk and celebrated and went to sleep, of course, the Trojans came out of the horse. Opened up the gates. The Greeks came in, killed everybody in the city. And that's how the war ended. The Trojan horse. We all know what it means, don't we? Someone infiltrating your space, but you are allowing them to come in to do it. They even call these viruses that get on your computer Trojan horse viruses. Why? You have to somehow or another hit a key or click on it to let it in. They bait you with something, like they'll bait you with cheap labor. They'll bait you with something like saying, oh, be compassionate to us because we're hungry and we're poor and we just need a place to eat. We want to just make our lives better. See, they'll bait you with greed, or they'll bait you with compassion, or they'll bait you with pride. Well, America is so much better than everybody else that we should allow anybody who wants to come here because we're such a great nation. And it always gets you. Right now, the Democratic Party is using illegal immigrants to do that to us. Baby, it's been a plan for a long time. They started out calling it Raza. And it's part of La Raza called La Reconstitusta. What does that mean? It means to advance the recovery of stolen land. See, they believe that the land that we got from the Mexican War was stolen land. Even though we beat their behinds in the Mexican War, they still want the land of Texas and California and Arizona and New Mexico. They want that land back. So they had a plan to retake this stolen land and use immigration as a demographic way of doing it. Yeah, it's a real plan. La Reconquista, that's what they call it. Reconquering through immigration, legal and illegal. Well, America got hold to it. It's followed the Raza. And then they wanted to change the name. And now they call it Unidos, U-N-I-D-O-S, UnidosUS. UNIDOS, US. It's the same thing. They're just lying about it now. They say that they're just trying to fix the relationship between, help Hispanics and immigrants that come to America. No, it's the same plan. They're part of the Democratic Party, and their job is to get illegals here to the country, and then they take these illegals and they ship them to the areas of the country where they want them to be, so these illegals can set and lay in wait to be activated. Trojan Horse, man. They're doing the same thing to us that they did 3,000 years ago. There's nothing new under the sun. And to the black community, you need to know something. You're being replaced. I remember about maybe 20 years ago, not more than 20, 25 years ago, the black community was the largest minority population in the United States of America. We made up like 12% of the population. And Hispanics were very far behind us. Now the Hispanics make up about 18%, and we're still at 12%. You know why? Because we're dying. Abortion is the number one killer of black people in the world. It's not white police. It's not gunshots. It's not murder. The most dangerous place for a young black person to be is in the womb of his mother. So we're killing ourselves. And then the ones that survive that, you take their fathers away, and because of no discipline, they end up in the penitentiary. They end up murdered. They end up on drugs. They end up in the LGBTQ lifestyle where they don't live long and they don't have children. Consequently, the black community is in a death spiral along with the rest of America, and it's dying. So Democrats need some new N-words. And so they bring in the illegals, because they're not going to stop killing. They got to have their sacrifice to Moloch, They got to have their death cult. They got to have their prison population. They got to do their evil. So they got to bring a whole other group of people in to take advantage of now. And they've given that over to the Hispanic community. And I want to tell you Hispanic people something. Y'all better be careful. A lot of people try to come to power by riding the back of the tiger, ended up in his mouth. The Democratic Party means you no good. These people are evil. You see what they're doing to you when you get here. You're laying on the streets like dogs, giving you scraps that fall from the table. They just need your numbers, like they've needed black people for years. And now that we don't have the numbers anymore, they don't have any more. They don't need us anymore. Illegal immigration is a Trojan horse to replace not so much the white American population. No, they're here to replace the black American population. They know that black people have had their heyday in America. The Democratic Party has done to the black community what slavery and what Jim Crow could not. It's killing it. They need replacements. They're not going to stop abortion because they need abortion, because abortion is an industry that makes money through the pharmaceutical industry, and the Democratic Party gets paid through Planned Parenthood, so they can't stop abortions. Can't do it. Black people become so violent that they're committing murders, they're stealing. So they send them to prison. The teachers' unions want to educate them so they can't get jobs, so they have to stay in poverty. And the ones that are in poverty, so they do not riot and they can stay in office, they got to give them free stuff. They're too much of a liability. And America's tired. They say at least Hispanics will work. They're not out there just jumping on and killing white people all over the country. So the Trojan Horse is here. This No Kings rally, yeah, when you saw that the immigrants had enough power to make the Democrat Party order them to shut down the whole country, and how illegals are marching in the streets of America demanding the ouster of a U.S. president, how illegals are marching in America demanding free money from the American people, how illegals are marching in America rioting and burning up stuff while carrying their own country's flag. How they are a protected class and how they are fighting ICE agents who are coming to take them back, and the Democratic Party is in support of this. Gavin Newsom and even some Democrats now are going to jail, going to ICE facilities to keep ICE from deporting illegals. Why? That's their army. This is their army. And they can't let these people take away their army. Donald Trump messing up their plans, man. So the Trojan Horse. What was the lesson? Beware of Greeks bearing gifts. Beware of any gift that your enemy gives you. Beware of the fact that Venezuela is sending all of their criminals and opening up their psych wards and sending their people up here. Beware that Mexico is sending all of their criminals and all of their poor up here. Beware that Donald Trump is now having to blow up ships carrying dope and fentanyl to the United States of America. Because where are they coming? From there, over the border. Beware that the cartels make billions of dollars and they send their lawyers in Washington, D.C., millions of dollars, and these lawyers give fundraisers for the Democrats who fight to keep that border open and who fight ICE agents who are doing their job to deport any illegal, any immigrant who's here illegal. Understand what I'm telling you. Democrats are openly fighting federal agents who are deporting people who are here in this country illegally. The Democratic Party is siding with an insurgent invasion force. I told you they were communists. I told you. And now we have an invasion, and they're siding with the people who've invaded. They're traitors. Joe Biden sat back and allowed all these illegals to come in. Yeah, it was a Trojan horse. Talking about he needed new legislation passed to stop illegal immigration. You see, all you needed was a new president, like Donald Trump said.
Since taking office, my administration has launched the most sweeping border and immigration crackdown in American history, and we quickly achieved the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers ever recorded. Thank you. The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation, we must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president. Thank you.
So people have done this to make you aware of what's going on. Democrats aren't fooling us. They might have been for a little while, but now we got them. And in the midterms, I want you to make them pay. If not, understand if these people ever get power, again, the borders are going to come wide open. They're going to allow the barbarians to break open the gates. They're going to invade our country. And we're going to become second-class citizens in our country. And they're going to be telling us what to do. It's enough of them to do it. It's happened throughout history. Don't think it cannot happen here. Remember what I'm telling you. The Democrats will open up the gates and allow every illegal in the world to come to America and tell them, take out the people who are here, specifically the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant and the Christians. Kill them all! And make this country yours. Beware. I'm not going to let you forget, because I'm here to wake you up. And I hope I did you some good here today. So join me again for another edition of the Vince Everett Ellison Show. All right, friends, Vince Everett Ellison is here. I want you to go to my website. And on my website, you're going to see a lot of great stuff, man. You're going to see that we got T-shirts, we got caps. You got my books, my documentaries. You got all kinds of stuff on VinceSpeaksTruth.com. Go there. We're dropping new T-shirts. We're dropping new merchandise. My new book, The End of Tolerance, is there. The End of Tolerance. Make sure you get it. Make it #1. If you got my first 3, get The End of Tolerance. It's just as good. And it's telling us we have to end our tolerance with these leftists, these Democrats. We can no longer allow them to sexually groom our children. We can no longer allow them to castrate little boys and call them little girls, run God out of the public square, take away our guns, take away our sovereignty. No longer allow it. So go on VinceSpeaksTruth.com. That is VinceSpeaksTruth.com. Hit merchandise. You'll see the T-shirts. You'll see the caps. You'll see the books. You'll see the documentaries. You'll see it all. And let's keep this ball rolling. God bless you.